Hello, thank you for joining me today. It's Karen here. Today for our practice, you will need either a couple of cushions or a couple of blankets folded over your mat, and you don't need to worry about being close to a wall today. Today this practice is going to be focusing on twisting postures in yoga. And so to begin, make your way onto your back with the knees bent. Open the arms out wide with the palms upward and find an evenness through the back body. Drop the shoulders back and down. Lengthen the neck. And just wiggle around until you feel like the body is long and even and balanced. Let the knees come together to support each other. Just take a few breaths here. Just beginning to tune in to how it feels inside your body today. How are things? How does the body feel? Where is your soreness? How is your breath today? How is the breath coming in and out of the body? Is the breath strained in any way? Is the breath easy? Just taking a minute here to really just focus on this moment right here, right now, seeing what is going on for you. And as we turn our focus to our breath, keeping awareness on the breath, training the monkey mind to stay present here in this moment with the body. Draw the knees in towards the chest, holding either on top of the knees or behind the thighs here. And we'll just begin to rock a little bit from side to side gently. Continuing to inhale and exhale through the nose. Inhale to center, exhale to rock to the side a little bit. So find a rhythm with the movement in the breath. And take the arms back out, palms up or down, whatever's comfortable for the shoulders today. And bringing the knees back to center. Take a big inhale. On the exhale, begin to take the knees over to the right. Now, this is where if you need some support, whether that's a cushion, blankets, a pillow, whatever you need, if your knees do not easily come to the floor. And then as the knees come to the floor, let the head gently turn to the left. So knees are to the right, head is to the left. Relax through the shoulders, relax through the face. On your next inhale, bring the knees back up to center. Take a pause here. On the exhale, draw the abdominal muscles in, press the low back to the floor. Take the knees over to the left. Remembering to use supports if you need them. As the knees go to the left, the head gently turns to the right. You can close the eyes and just notice where you're feeling the twist here as we're coming into this twisting from the back here. Notice in the belly where it's tight. Notice how these twisting movements affect your breath. And so always trying to keep the breath moving in and out, trying to keep a deep breath. Even though the twist can restrict the breath, we still want to find a place where we can take an inhale and an exhale. See if we can open up some space. And a couple more times, move with your breath. Come back to center on an inhale. On the exhale, bring the knees over to the right. Head turns to the left. Find a deeper inhalation and exhalation. And then one more time, come back to center on an inhale. And bring the legs over on the exhale. Turn the head and pause here and hold and breathe. So we're getting a real compression of the abdominal organs, this squeezing and releasing, squeezing and releasing. And this is very healthy for our tissues, for all of the abdominal organs, for cleansing. And for the spine, it's very, very nourishing for the intervertebral discs that are between the vertebrae, those discs that act as shock absorbers. They too are having this squeezing and releasing, bringing circulation to these discs. Circulation and hydration, very important for the health of the discs. Inhale, come back to center. I'm going to bring the feet back down to the earth. And then draw the right knee in towards the chest. Extend the left leg out long so there's a nice straight line from the left heel, the left knee, through the left shoulder, lengthen through the neck. Draw the right thigh inward. And then we'll take half wind relieving pose here, toes pointing to the sky. Take a big inhale on the exhale. Begin to lift the shoulders and round up. Forehead coming towards the knee. Hold and breathe here. If you find this strains your neck, then support the head with one hand. Hold and release. And we're just going to repeat this a couple of times, just beginning to stretch and lengthen. Lifting on the exhale. Holding for a couple breaths. Releasing on the inhale. Inner thighs moving apart. Extended leg reaching out and pressing down. And release. And let's just switch that. Extend the right leg out. Draw the left thigh in. When you're ready, lifting on the exhalation. Holding for a couple of breaths. Releasing on the inhale. Lifting on the exhale, holding for a couple of breaths. One last time here, lifting, holding. And releasing, head and shoulders back to the floor. Now keeping a hold of the left leg inward here, so left knee is bent, thigh moving inward. On an inhale, with the right leg straight, begin to lift up. You may have to bend the knee in order to bring the heel up over top of the hip, but holding here, lengthening out through the back of the right leg. Inhale, exhale through the nose, coming into Ujjayi breath, that soft closing at the back of the throat, so it's a bit of a whispered breath. You can hear your inhale and your exhale softly. On the next exhalation, very slowly beginning to extend and lower the right leg out and down with control. Slowly, slowly lengthening out and away. Inhale and lift back up. As you hold the right leg up here, begin to point and flex. So we bring some movement here through the ankle and continuing to lengthen and stretch out through the back of the leg. Continue with Ujjayi breath. And then as you flex the foot on an exhalation with control, lowering that leg all the way back to the floor slowly. And release. Stretch the left leg out. Draw the right knee in. On an inhale, lifting left leg straight up, bending the knee if you need that support because it's just too tight to have the leg straight with the heel over top of the hip. So always remember to listen to your body, to modify, to be patient, to be kind, to be loving, to allow some time for some space to open up, breath by breath. On the exhale, sending that left leg back down slowly with control, keeping the right thigh pressing inward. On the inhale, lifting the leg back up. As we hold the leg lifted here, begin to point and flex, point and flex. And so with twisting postures, we always want to find the length through the spine first before we begin to twist. So this is a great movement here just to begin to find some length in our body. Lower the left leg back down to the earth and stretch the right leg back out. Take a pause there and just have a little listen, see how it feels. Keeping the right leg straight, we're going to rebend the left knee and bring that knee so that it's over top of the left hip. And we're going to take a knee down twist here. So send the left arm up and overhead if the shoulder will allow that movement. You could also do this with the left hand down beside the hip if it creates pain for you to take the left arm up overhead. Right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. And here you may need your support, a block or a couple of pillows as we begin to draw the left leg over and across towards the floor. Now maybe you can't reach the floor, maybe you can. Pausing there, listening to the body, stopping if you have a sense of pain anywhere. Pain is the signal to stop. And then we're just going to hold and breathe here in this twisted position, a knee down twist. Inhale, exhale through the nose. Arm is up or down. And as we hold here, you could also just begin to circle around here just to bring some movement here through the left shoulder, if that feels good. Or you could just keep the arm overhead or down, whichever feels good for you today. One more breath here, and then come back over, bring the leg up, and switch it to the other side. So now we bring the right knee, bend the right knee, left leg is straight. Send the right arm up overhead or keeping it down. Knee is over top of the hip here. Then slowly, slowly, as we come over onto our side, drawing that knee over and across, using some support if we need it, holding and breathing. Seeing what action would feel good for the right arm, whether that's extending up overhead, hand down closer to our hip, or maybe some circling, just beginning to get some movement and circulation through the right shoulder. Continuing to inhale, exhale through the nose. And twisting postures can really help us to confront frustration, because sometimes they're very, very challenging to get into, and we bump right up against how we deal with frustration, whether we have a tendency to be aggressive with ourselves, non-accepting of where our physical boundaries are, our physical limitations. So twists are wonderful for really helping us to deal with frustration. And release. Come back. Draw the knees back into the chest. In here, we'll just take a little massage of the low back, circling around 4 or 5 times in each direction. So the stress, the tension that gets stored in our muscles, and there's many layers to this tension, and some of the deeper layers can lie right in those muscles that are very close to the spine, and so twisting is wonderful to help us release some of that really, really deeply layered tension that we store in our bodies that we might not even be aware of until we have finished a practice and just notice how much more open and free we feel. And then one more circle here, and then rock it all the way over to come up onto the hands and knees. So coming to tabletop here, bringing the wrists underneath the shoulders and the hips over top of the knees, and separating the fingers equal distance apart here. Inside edge of the elbows facing each other. And we'll just take a couple of dog and cats here as we drop the belly, extend the spine, lift the crown. Exhale, round the spine, draw the navel back to the front of the spine as we really open up here, back up in behind the heart. Couple more, moving with breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, and round and flex. One more time here. Lengthen. Round and flex. Come back to flat back tabletop. Now we're going to take a thread the needle. So this is a twisting posture from hands and knees. So on an inhale, sweep the right arm up and then bringing it down and underneath the other arm and finding a place on the outer part of the upper arm and shoulder to rest here. Bring the palms together. This might be enough here. You can also lift the top arm up here. Hold and breathe. Make any little adjustments you need to feel like you can hold and breathe here for a few breaths. And release, come back up. We'll come to the other side. Sweep the left arm up. Bring it back down. And do this really slowly and mindfully to make sure that this shoulder that you're putting weight on is comfortable. The head turns to the side. Sweep the right arm up. Hold and breathe a couple of breaths. Hips are up over top of the knees. And release. or sitting on the feet if you're able to sit onto your feet. You could also sit up onto a block or onto cushions to elevate yourself. You can sit on the feet. Then we're sitting on the feet here. Lift up and lengthen through the spine. And we'll take a simple twist here to the right, taking the gaze back and over towards the left shoulder. Squeeze and release, back to center. From the foundation, we ground down, lifting the spine nice and long. We'll take a twist over to the right here. Left hand to the right thigh and rotate. Hold and breathe. And release. Come on to the hands and knees again. Walk the knees back a little bit so that the wrists are in front of the shoulder. Tuck the toes and we'll take a downward facing dog here to stretch this all out. As you lift the hips and take them back, drop the chest down towards the thighs. Feet are at least hip distance apart. Inside edge of the big toes facing forward. Lengthen through the waist. Pressing into the length of the fingers. Every knuckle pressing down. Come to the knees. Let's swing the right foot out, extend the left leg, and we'll take this up for a supported side plank here. As you lift the left arm up and take the gaze to the fingertips. If that strains the neck, then just take the gaze down to the supporting arm. And breathe. And release, bring that down. Let's take it to the other side. So spin the right leg out. Spin the left leg out, right leg extends, sweep the right arm up. Hold and breathe. Heart opening, chest lifting, wrist above the shoulder. And release. Take the knees wide, big toes together, and just take a moment here to bring it back into child's pose, just to stretch it out a little bit. Forehead comes to the floor, arms reaching forward. And come back up. Back from all fours, and then here we're going to bring the right foot forward. Left knee can stay down, or you're going to lift that leg and lift up here into a lunge so that the right knee is directly above the right ankle. Plant the left palm down, sweep the right arm up here for lunge with a twist here. Hold and breathe. And release. Step back to downward dog. Bring the left foot forward. I'm just pivoting around here so that you can still see me. Left foot forward, right foot back. Right knee might be down. Plant the right palm. Sweep the left arm up. Left knee directly over left ankle. Hold and breathe. And release. Step the feet forward, coming into Uttanasana, forward fold, hanging down over the hips. And then just reaching for the back of the calves, back of the ankles, gently drawing the torso down and in towards the legs. Crown of the head aiming down. Inhale. With a straight spine, you might need to bend the knees, lifting up. Inhale. Bring the hands back to heart. Stepping the left foot back, right foot forward. And then angling the back toes so that they're angled to direct towards the front left corner of the mat. Bend the front knee here as we come into Warrior One. Inhale, lift the arms, palms facing. Back, heel in contact with the floor. And then exhale, bring the hands to the heart. And then here we're going to take this into a twist to bring the left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And it's okay to let the back heel lift a little bit if you need to. Hold and balance and breathe. And release back to center. Come up. Step the feet together. Left foot forward, right foot back. Right toes angle up towards the right edge of the front of your mat. Bend the left knee. Back heel in contact with the floor. Hips facing the front of the mat. Inhale, take the arms up, palms facing. Virabhadrasana 1. Back heel in contact. One more breath here, then we'll bring hands to the heart. Back heel can lift as you come into the twist. Then we're going to bring right elbow down and over towards the outside of the left knee. You might even be able to take this deeper if you have your back heel lifted. And release and step it forward. Good. Okay, so now stepping right foot forward, left foot back. Legs are straight here now as we come into a revolved triangle. So hips are facing forward. Now some of you might have to have a little bit of a bend in the front knee, but here we want the legs ideally straight without the knees locking. And we're going to begin with a long spine to hinge forward. Now, you could also use a chair or blocks, if you had blocks, as you come forward, if you needed that support. Hold and breathe. Either fingertips or palm. Sweep the right arm up. Hold and breathe. Parivrita Trikonasana, revolved triangle pose. One more breath. Bring that hand back down. Step it back to downward dog. And just take a stretch here. And then step the left foot forward, right foot back. Bring the heel to the floor. Right toes angle up towards the front of the mat. Get comfortable and balanced here. Then right fingertips, palm down, and left arm sweeps up. And here we're going to allow our left hip to, and our pelvis to move whatever way it needs to move in order to lift the arm as best we can. Once again, honoring your limitations wherever you're tight. Never forcing the body to move to a place that could cause harm. We don't want to harm ourselves. Bring that back down. Step the feet together. Back to Uttanasana, forward fold. And inhale, straight spine, lifting back up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Okay, so we're going to come back to sitting on the mat. Now, I never really know sometimes how long this video is going to be because it cuts me off at a certain point. So if you do happen to lose me in mid-practice, then I suggest that you finish up your practice in bridge pose and then take a nice long relaxation period of either legs up the wall or shavasana. Always allowing yourself that very important time at the end of practice to just be, to experience just being. So here, sitting from staff pose, Dandasana, lengthening up through the spine. Now if you find that you're rounded and you're tilting back, this is where you would want to sit up on either block or cushions or pillows, something that helps you to elevate your pelvis so that you can sit up nice and tall with the legs extended. Here, the front of the sitting bones. We want to feel that connection, the front of the sitting bones, so the foundation of the pose from the legs, spine lifting up, lengthen and elongate. Then we'll take a twist here to the right. Lengthen, rotate to the right, and breathe. Release to center, lengthen and elongate, and then rotate to the left. Keep extending out through the legs. And release, and then take an easy fold over the legs, Paschimottanasana. Maybe even bending the knees if your back is really tight, if the hamstrings are tight. And release. And then here we're going to rock over to the right and bend the knees and bring the feet over to the left. And as we bring the legs over to the left, bring the right foot so that it rests underneath the left thigh. And this is where sometimes it helps to have a little elevation on the opposite side. So I'm putting these blankets more underneath my right buttocks here so that I am trying to find some evenness and balance here. So my right foot is under my left thigh, and we come into Bharadvajasana twist here. Lengthen, elongate the spine, and begin to rotate to the right. Now maybe there's very little space here for the rotation, so honor that. Stop when you need to stop. Once again, if you're feeling a sharp pain, that's the body signal to stop. Stay tuned in with the breath. And release. Come back to center. And here, just slide your right hand behind. And once again, twisting to the right, imagining that you could slide that hand right over and bring it over onto the top of the left thigh. Now, I'm not able to do that, but maybe you are. And release. Now, this may be enough. If this is enough, just work with this twist one more time. If it would be very easy for you to slide your right foot so that you come into more of a half lotus pose here, then bring that foot up. Be very careful about the knees. And slide the right hand around as though I cannot grab my big toe, but that would be the aim. As the twist to the right, holding and breathing. And release. Coming to the other side. So I'm going to move my blankets so that now my left buttocks is resting and elevated. My left foot will now be underneath my right thigh. as I shift now, so I'm sitting more over to the left. Sit up nice and tall, ground down, and then rotate to the left. Hold and breathe. Really feel into the body where you feel this twisting movement. Keep the breath, sending it down into the pelvis. And release. We'll do this one more time here. Lengthen, and then on the exhale, the rotation. Hold and breathe. And release. For those of you that are able to, without hurting your knees at all, slide this left foot up here into half lotus. And then once again, taking the twist, sliding the left hand around as though we're going to reach around and grab our big toe or place it on the top of the right thigh. Hold and breathe. And release. And let's stretch these legs back out. I'm going to come back to center on the mat with my legs stretching out. Coming back to Dandasana, stop pose. And then we'll move into a couple more seated twists here. Bending the right knee, bringing that foot in as close as you comfortably can. Keeping the left leg straight in a nice straight line, heel, knee, hip, and shoulder all in a straight line. And then we're going to lift the right arm and then bring the right elbow onto the inside of the right knee. So the right knee is pressing inward, so we want that knee to be in line more with the right hip as instead of letting it open up here. So there's the knee against the elbow back against the knee here in Marichyasana 1, rotating to the left, holding and breathing, keep extending out through the left leg. Long spine, full breath, and release. Stretch the legs back out, bend the left knee, bring that foot in as far as you comfortably can. Lift and lengthen through the spine, extend through the right leg. Lift the left arm, bring it to the inside of the left knee. A gentle press of the left knee inward. Lengthen and rotate to the right. And the legs. Let's take a forward fold over the legs here. Gentle, easy folds. Inhale, come back up. Rebend the right knee. If you can easily cross it over where your foot is on the floor as opposed to it just crossing over. We want sole of the foot in contact with the floor. Otherwise, it's going to stay on this side of the leg. Sit up tall, lengthen up. Inhale, lengthen left arm up, bringing it down to the outside of the right knee and twisting to the right. Keep extending out through the left leg. Marichyasana 3. A deeper twist to the belly. It's harder to get the breath down there. Continue to work with it. And release. Switch it to the other side. Right leg straight, left knee bent. If it crosses over easily and the foot is on the floor, cross it over. Otherwise, keep it here. Inhale, lift the right arm. Bring it down to the outside of the left knee. Lengthen spine, rotate and twist. that leg back out. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, fold it back down over the legs. And release. And here we'll make our way back down onto our back with the knees bent, feet hip distance apart. Take a moment here. And then let's just breathe into some pelvic tilts. Inhale, arch. Exhale, press low back to the floor. Feet stay firmly in contact with the floor. Inhale, arch the spine a little bit. Exhale, press the low back. And then we'll involve the arms now. So when the inhale, arms come up overhead, arch the back. Exhale, press the low back to the floor. And with the next inhalation, press the feet and lift up into an easy bridge. Arms can be up or down, whatever's comfortable for you. Hold and breathe. Our pubic bone is moving up towards our sternum here. So there's a tuck of the tailbone under. Strong legs, inner thighs moving towards each other. And release the spine back to the floor. Bring the knees back up over top of the hips. Open the arms up wide. And we're going to take a twist here. We'll begin here over to the left. Bringing the knees over. And then if it feels good, stretch the legs out. Trying to keep the shoulders grounded down towards the floor. Bend the knees, come back to center. Keep this tucked position as you come all the way over into a fetal position on the other side. Then extend the legs. Arms opening wide. See if you can get a full breath in there. Rebend the knees, come back to center, bring the feet to the floor. Stretching one leg out, then the other, feet separated. Open the shoulders, open the arms, coming back to Shavasana. Tuning into your breath without controlling the breath, but just watching now at the end of your practice how your breath is moving compared to when you started. And there's nowhere to go or nothing to do here. Just take this time to let go and let be, just to be here in this present moment with your body and your breath. Letting thoughts arise and go without becoming attached to any particular thought. Just staying detached from the story. And I encourage you here to stay for a good 10 or 15 minutes if you have that time. And namaste, thank you for joining me today.